what's up, y'all? It's your man G-Wade holding it down. G-Wade Podcast. We, again, sitting with all the stars and celebrities, a.k.a. the businessmen and women of Atlanta, and the MDs, the health providers, our physicians, our black doctors that's really doing amazing work here in Atlanta. And I have the pleasure of sitting with Dr. Frank Jones, one of the board members of the Heritage Fund. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Let me ask you this question. First and foremost, thank you for sitting with us and
thank you for having us.
Sharing your wealth of information, knowledge. How important is tonight?
It's very important for several reasons. The main reason is because it's a fundraiser where we're trying to raise money for our medical students. And we call them underrepresented minority medical students. Mm-hmm. You know, their debt load is so high once they finish medical school. And so we're trying to relieve some of that debt load. We've been in their shoes where they are. And this is all about raising money for our medical students. On the other hand, it's all about us having a good time.
Yeah.
You know, we work hard, and we love to get together, we love to socialize. That only makes us a better organization.
Yeah. Now, how long have you been a part of the Heritage Fund?
Oh, well, I've been a part of the Atlanta Medical Association for about 20 or 25 years.
Okay. And
the Heritage Fund for probably about 15 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, you know, the percentage of African American doctors, you know, I think we're sitting at about 16% of just African Americans in total, but about 5% or so when it comes to doctors.
Yeah.
How important is it to encourage young black men and women, African Americans, to pursue careers in the health field?
It's very important. Very important. There have been some studies that show that black patients do better if they have black doctors because we're more likely to go back into our communities. We've had the same life experiences, you know, with our black patients, and they're just like family to us, and so we're going to take care of them. And so there's no question that it's very important for us to produce the next generation. Now, there's really, like you said, there's like between 5 and 8%. When it comes to black males, only 3%.
Wow.
And so we have a special place in our heart for black males, but just underrepresented minorities in general.
So what are some of the challenges when it comes to becoming a medical, beginning into the medical field when it comes with young African Americans? I know we're talking finances and that sort of thing, but is there also resistance when it comes to other organizations, other health providers?
Yeah, but there's so many reasons, and it starts at a young age. One of the main reasons is that there's not a lot of role models. Like I said, because it's only 8%.
Yeah.
Most young children, or even high school, maybe even college children, have never seen a black doctor.
Yeah.
Unless you live in Atlanta or D.C. or Houston, you may have seen one, but you don't know one personally. And so it's all about us being role models, letting them know that, yes, you can be a doctor. That's one of the reasons, one of the factors. The other is just getting accepted into medical school. You know, a lot of us have different backgrounds. Sometimes we have fewer resources at our high schools and at our colleges. So when it comes time to taking the test, like the MCAT test, which is the test to get in, it's very difficult, and we don't do as well on the MCAT. And they use that to keep us out.
Now, is that because there are certain biases that, you know, I guess that are built within that test? Yeah.
Absolutely. There's no question. There's a lot of implicit and explicit bias.
Okay.
They don't want it to be any more than 5 to 8%.
Gotcha.
And so that's why we have to go the extra mile to try and create as many as possible and open up more doors.
Now, you know, the organization has been around since 1890, over 130 years. How are there other chapters outside of Atlanta? You know, we know we got the state chapter and that sort of thing, but are there other organizations outside?
Yeah, so there's the parent body is a National Medical Association.
Okay.
So across the United States, it's the National Medical Association. Then you have your state association. We happen to be an award-winning chapter of the National Association.
All right,
We've won the best chapter of the year twice.
Now, what constitutes best? How is that determined?
Because we're so involved.
I got you. Okay.
We do events like this. We do a lot of mentoring. We have mentoring programs. We are very engaged in the community. We do a lot with health fairs and things like that. And then we do a lot of educating the community. We have a program that we call Ask a Black Doctor that we started.
I saw that, yeah. Since you mentioned that, awesome. Explain that. Because I saw something on YouTube regarding it, but explain exactly what that is.
Yeah, so it was something that I actually, I don't want to say created, but I kind of developed and produced.
Okay.
And what it was is really during COVID, we knew that people had a lot of questions, and they weren't comfortable asking people that don't look like them. And so we said, ask a black doctor. You know, you can trust us. We're going to tell you the truth. And so then we used that to talk about COVID, and we had so many viewers that turned that on. But we also do it for other disease processes too. So not just for COVID. That's kind of how it started.
Right.
But we do it for dementia, Alzheimer's disease, for pediatric patients. So we do it for quite a range of things. But that's how it started. And so people are much more comfortable asking somebody that looks like that.
Now, is that a free service? Is that something that you can tune in weekly or check in weekly? How is that set up?
It's free. And we record it so that people can go back and look at it as it's recorded.
Gotcha.
We've been on hiatus for a little while, but we're getting ready to ramp it back up again. And so it's virtual, and so people can sign on from across the country. We've had people across the country, young and old, that have signed on for different episodes. We even had an episode called Protecting Your Financial Health.
I saw that one.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So that was well attended. But interestingly enough, the one that we had the most viewership was about mental health.
Okay.
And mental
because
health
that's such a stigma in the African American community. Yeah,
it's a big stigma in the community, and so we just had so many attendees and so many people called us about that one, and so that's something that we're going to revisit over and over again.
Now we say stigma, but is it also that some people just don't recognize that they are actually suffering from some type of mental health?
I think it's both.
Crisis.
It's both. We're embarrassed to talk about it. Once you figure out something's going on, we're embarrassed to talk about it. But every family is touched by mental health. Every family is touched by disease, dementia, such as Alzheimer's.
Yes.
It's just something we don't talk about in our community.
Yeah.
Like I said, there is a stigma attached to it.
Well, Dr. Frank Jones, I certainly appreciate you sitting down with us and sharing your wealth of knowledge and all the great things you guys and your organization are doing. If people want to find out more about you, your practice, how do they get in contact with you guys?
It's best to go through the organization.
Okay.
Dr. Priscilla Hubbard has access to all of our information. I do want to mention one of the things that I'm doing personally.
Absolutely.
Too. I have developed a directory of black doctors in Metro Atlanta.
Now, would this be I mentioned this. Would this be something like a green book of sorts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every time I say that, somebody says that. But it's because, and for many reasons. One, even as a doctor, if I'm trying to refer to another black doctor, like I may not know a black dermatologist. I may not know a black ophthalmologist.
Yeah.
And so we've developed, it's called My Black Doctor Directory.
Really? Okay.
And so we're almost ready to launch it.
Okay.
And but it's not just, it's mostly for patients who are trying to access black doctors.
Now, is this a participation-based database, or you guys just kind of gather the names of the African American physicians?
A little bit of both. So I'm in the process now of getting askers to submit their profiles.
Okay.
But we're collaborating with the Atlanta Medical Association to use their directory.
Okay.
And it's culturally sensitive. So that if, like, a lot of people ask, I went to Morehouse College for undergrad. A lot of my classmates say, hey, do you know anybody from Morehouse or Spelman that's an OBGYN?
Ah, gotcha.
I'm part of a fraternity. Do you know anybody that's a Q, that's an orthopedic surgeon? So it's culturally sensitive.
Gotcha. So if when they go on that database, they'll kind of see the credentials listed out that way.
Yes, you'll see that. And you can pick by the category, and it also have their biography on there.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
And you said this is launching when?
Probably within the next, it's actually live now, but we haven't really been telling
people. Kind of in the beta?
Yet.
Okay.
Yeah, because we want to have a lot more doctors' profiles already there.
Okay.
And right now we're doing medical doctors, podiatrists, optometrists, and mental health workers.
Gotcha.
Soon we're going to expand that to dentists.
Okay.
And some other types
and
of
other
doctors.
specialties.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Well, once again, Dr. Frank Jones, I certainly appreciate you sitting down with us. It's an amazing night. I'm certainly glad to be a part of this. You guys are doing an awesome job. It's just a great thing to do, man.
Well, thank you
it's
so
awesome.
much. Thank you for doing
Thanks
this
so
for
much.
us. Right.
It's your man G Wade holding it down. G Wade Podcast. Y'all already know what it is. Don't go nowhere.